How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, nice cat. Very nice.
The cat is the fifth member of Frayle, but he's very insistent on being in the videos.
I have the and smiling.
Aw. Oh my gosh, look at that face. So cute.
The little girl.
Adorable. Oh, he's just he's
So we are not here to talk about cats, but your third album. Um, do you think is very different from your previous one, or it follows?
Yeah, so I think that this record, Heretics and Lullabies, it has us sort of coming into our own, I think, where on maybe our earlier records you could hear our influences a little bit more directly. I think this one is kind of just us finding our own sort of rhythm and sound, I guess. So I definitely think it's different in that regards where it's more us. And I think it's also where we it's also where we kind of stopped paying attention to what was going on out in the world musically and just kind of wrote for ourselves as opposed to anything else or worrying about genres or anything like that.
Yeah. So it's the name, the title of the album. Um, what is it about? Lullaby, erotic, magic.
So the lullaby part is kind of throughout the entire album, right? It's mostly to do with my vocal delivery that I want to sing you a lullaby and make you feel better about everything that I possibly everything that I possibly can. Um, Heretics, I mean, if I was just talking about this, where if you take a look and throughout your entire life, there's heresy everywhere you look, right? So, um, I say what is heresy for one is scripture for another, right? So if being a strong woman, a strong feminist in a world full of patriarchy simply existing, is that heresy? Um, so I think the album explores that and the nature of heresy through different parts of your life.
Oh, okay. Um, there is also a link with wedding. In your video. Uh,
Yeah. So that's the she's talking about the brides with the sacrifice. So I think we started that idea for Walking Wounded because it sort of played directly into what the song was about. Um, and then we really liked the idea of maybe continuing that thread visually through the videos. I'm a big fan of cinema, and anytime you feel more connected to what you're watching, especially if there's like a sequel or something like that, you're like, oh, I remember that. So I'm still along for this journey or along for this ride, and I feel connected to it. I think that that was sort of an interesting idea for us because I don't recall seeing a lot of bands do something like that. So, with us shooting, we shoot the videos ourselves, and we're like, why not just continue this? And Gwen's really good friend Julia, who was she's been a Sacrifant in every single video. She has so much fun doing it that I don't think we could take it away from her. So she enjoys it so much that she came to like we just got back from a European tour and that we had a warm-up show in Cleveland before we went there, and she came to the Cleveland show in the dress and got on stage and just was like, I couldn't believe what she was doing, like because she was right next to me. I'm like, this is amazing. So how could we take that away from her because she enjoyed it so much?
She does a really good job, and she really gets into character. I think she's a natural actor. So she was doing these things where she would kind of like just half fall over and then point, and
Super slow.
yeah, it was just
It was awesome.
really creepy.
And then since then, we've, on our socials, we've said, hey, if you come to a show, you're going to get a special gift. And we made these very unique and special gifts. I don't want to say what they are because I like it to be a surprise at the shows, but we made them only for people that wear wedding dresses to our shows, and that's guys or girls or whatever. And they, in Germany, they started wearing wedding dresses to the shows, and it was amazing to, be able to give, people these gifts. And in Cleveland too, beyond just her friend Julia, there was people there, and it's, it's just awesome. It's sort of like bringing our visual world into the show. And after when we're done playing, we usually get off stage and we're hanging out by the merch table and talking to people. And when we were taking pictures, it was almost like the the video world came to real life because all of a sudden there's these new characters beyond just us that like people were like fascinated by. So I think it's a cool idea to involve, the audience more into the live show, which is fun for us and for the audience, I think.
Yes, that's why you asked to wear a wedding dress at your show.
Yeah, because it's pretty cool to see people, get involved like that. And also I like the idea of, Gwen and I both have a background in apparel design and fashion design. And it's kind of a cool idea to give new life to something that otherwise would have just sat on a shelf or maybe sat in a thrift store. Because usually if you see wedding dresses at a thrift store, you don't usually buy them because it's like they've already served their purpose. So we get to breathe new life into something else again, I guess.
Yeah, there is a strong imagery uh, for you. Uh, who created it's you, Gwen?
It's usually both of us, but Gwen a lot of times will have, I'd say, a majority of the main ideas. Like
Yeah, I'll try and paint with a very large brush stroke, and then Sean will come in and figure out like the different shots and things like this. But generally, I'll have an idea going in if this song is about X, Y, and Z, and this is how I would like to portray it. And sometimes, unfortunately, I give Sean just a feeling like this song has to feel really lonely,
yeah.
and then he has to determine what that means. But sometimes I'll have very specific ideas in my head as to how something should look, and um, sometimes I don't have anything specific, and he comes up with,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll go and grab visual imagery and put it together. But yeah, a lot of the broad brush strokes are Gwen. I'll fill in the gaps, or sometimes I'll have an idea, and that's what the video ends up being. But um, mostly it's her saying, this is kind of the mood or the vibe, and then I'll start pulling images together, and then I have to figure out how to light it. And then I always put fog and everything because I
because it's
love
fog.
fog. Yeah. Um, but yeah, and then if she's on camera and I'm not next to her, I'm usually shooting it, and then if I'm playing, then I have a good friend of mine, Damian Eduardos, who does all the band photography when I can't, be behind the camera, I'm in front, then he'll shoot it for us. And we've worked with him, I think, on almost every single video. So it's just like having another me there because he knows exactly what, we're looking for and he gets all excited about it. So we have a pretty good team when it comes to making videos. And the visuals are also like because we both have like a visual background, the project doesn't feel done to us until that visual component is there. It's like part of it. It's not more important than the music, but it's not done until there's also the visual aspect of it, I think, for us.
Yeah, it's an extension of the music. And so the things that we do as far as videos or even, outfits that we wear, it's kind of an extension of the music and the song. And for us, we want to create a world that we can live in, and we want to invite other people into that world as well. So it's important for us to create a whole environment.
Yeah. That also maybe comes from like streaming and the way that we consume media today. Like you can binge watch a whole series, right? In like a day or a couple days or something like that. And you're like in this world. And then when the show's over, you're a little sad because that world that you felt a part of is gone. And I think that connection for me anyways is what I would like to get out of maybe music videos as well. Like I
Mhm.
want it to be this continuing world that I can, go to and visit, right? It makes a stronger attachment for me anyways.
Um, for people who don't know you, how can you describe your universe?
What's our universe, babe?
I think it's a universe where it's okay to like it's one of inclusion. Um, we want to make sure that everybody is welcome and everybody is allowed to feel whatever they're feeling and hopefully walk out a little bit better. However, when you're in our house that we create, then it's going to be a little spooky and it's going to be a little haunted.
Yeah, it just feels right for us. Like this is our dining room. This it just feels right. And the whole house, Gwen is decorated, in the same vein, but it just feels right, and I think that's what the imagery that we're drawn to. Like we have this romantic fascination with the macabre, like not so much evil and death and bad things, because I think that that's silly to want bad things to happen to people, but like the imagery and what inspires us, a lot of it comes from that, I guess, right? So it's kind of like creating a safe, welcoming environment with metal blades around you.
Yeah, not only in music, but also in your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our whole house is painted black.
Everything
Um,
connected.
yeah, and our studio's on the third floor of our house, so it's kind of like we just live in this world, I guess,
Yeah.
right? I feel bad for my 14-year-old daughter who wants nothing to do with this world, but that's what she gets.
And about the cover of Lana Del Rey, um, it's who has the idea? She's
So
a little gothic sometimes.
Absolutely.
absolutely, and I think like who she is naturally helped the song fall into place a little better. Like we knew we wanted to do a cover for the record, and we demoed a few of them, and we just couldn't get it like spooky enough or heavy enough, which is sort of a guideline that we always put on ourselves for doing anything new. And the Lana song just all kind of clicked into place, and I think that like we're both Lana Del Rey fans, so it was easy to, you
Mm.
know, get in line with that. And I think the interesting thing is, so is my daughter likes Lana Del Rey too, right? It's such a she's so we think dark and gothy, doomy, but at the same time she appeals to like such a wide audience with her perspective and her delivery and things like that. So it's like it's sort of interesting, and I think it was a once it kind of fell into place, it was a no-brainer for us, and we really enjoy playing that song live.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's kind of the queen of melancholy, like her voice in and of itself is just so mournful that it just seemed kind of natural that we would cover one of her songs. Yeah, she definitely has a voice that is just so, I don't know, it brings emotion.
And we covered like I kept the song in the same key when we did the music and a similar tempo because our dream is that maybe she's in the same vicinity of us playing live and she just hops on stage, and I made it very easy for her to sing along with us live, Lana Del Rey. Give us a call, it's all set up.
Okay, you were at the Summer Breeze.
Yep.
How was it?
Summer Breeze was
The
a hot
summer
one.
break.
There was no breeze at Summer Breeze. It was very hot.
It was extremely warm, yeah, but it's funny how when you get out on stage, like I just completely forget anything and it's just you're in the moment. So the crowd there was incredible. It was packed. Um, we and people were really like you can tell when people are into it. We're not a band that goes and like Sean said to someone else earlier, like we're not someone that's a circle pit's gonna form, but we are that band where um, you're I'm singing directly to you in the audience, and we're gonna have a moment. We're gonna exchange that energy, and so for me, it was very fulfilling. Anytime that people are singing the lyrics back to me, that's an incredible feeling as an artist. That maybe that somebody took the time to read the lyrics and to learn them and to be able to sing them back means a ton. And then afterwards, like Sean said, we always go out and meet, like if it's possible, we go out to meet the people that were in the crowd afterwards. So luckily at Summer Breeze, we had control over our own merch and it was immediately next to the stage. So we left the stage and went right there, and we were there for like an hour, just like signing autographs and taking pictures, and I think that's important for us as well to be able to get out there and mix and talk to the people who were at the show, and um just get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, festivals are, it's great to play in front of big crowds and the stages are always big and the sound is good, but sometimes the merch is like a mile away. And like we tried to, at another festival, we tried to walk out to the merch. It took us like a half hour to get there. By the time we got there, there was only a few people there. But at Summer Breeze, with it right there, we just hopped off stage and we're instantly there. And it was just incredible to talk to everybody. And also, before the show, we got to see if people were coming early for merch. Those are people who already, have heard of us and know us and care enough to get something early. And there was, people there early, and then you see those same people singing live. And at Summer Breeze, because we were playing at nighttime, the moon was directly out from us. So from stage, we were just looking at the moon on this clear night, and it was just like it was a great experience, like to have all those things sort of come together at that festival.
Um, the album will be released in almost a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. October.
How do you feel?
It's exciting. I mean, we actually had a single come out an hour ago today, Heretic. So new release day is always exciting, and I think with this record, we're gonna have, by the time the record comes out, four singles come out. So every time we have a single come out, we'll get all excited and we, watch it on YouTube, and it's almost like watching it again for the first time because now it's out in the wild. And it's weird how that happens because we have watched that video hundreds of times, just looking, editing and making. But once it gets released, it's like you see it differently. I see it differently today than I did yesterday. So for the record to come out, we're really excited because beyond the singles, there's a lot of songs on there that we're really proud of. Like my favorite song, we haven't even made a video for yet. So there's a lot of, I think, really good content that we're excited about on that record.
Yeah, for sure. So even though, like Sean said, there's four singles before the album actually drops, there are two more easily that we feel could be singles and that we'll probably end up making videos for just because, again, that's part of our creative process and how we like to work. But yeah, it's exciting. It took a long time. Like we've had this record done for quite a while, but everything has to fall into place to get a release date just right. So it was frustrating waiting, but it's so worth it when you see everything kind of coming together and you understand, of course, this is why, so it's going to be great.
And Napalm has like
Oh,
it's
they've been amazing.
incredible. Like it's our first time doing a record with them, and their whole team is like,
So
yeah,
supportive, and whatever your vision is what we want to support. Like they've been amazing.
yeah, outstanding. And actually, Summer Breeze was the first time we met them in person. So a lot happened at Summer Breeze, but it was
Yeah.
it's been great to work with them.
Do you think to come in France one day for the next tour?
Well, so we had something scheduled for November, December, which is now tentative, because we were going to go out with another band, and the other band is no, they got something else to do, which is totally understandable. And I think France, the first show was Paris, so we were so excited about that. So we're still hoping that everything will come together for that. But I would say yes, that France is in our future, especially with the response the record's getting and the support that Napalm's giving us. I think that we'll be back to Europe very soon, and we would definitely want to be in France because we have not played France yet. We've stayed there several times
Mhm.
on the tour, like because we in Belgium, the festival, France was like 20 minutes away, so we stayed there, and we got to spend the very first time we came to Europe, we got to spend a week in Normandy, in between festivals. We love it there. We just haven't got to play there yet.
Is there a song more personal or maybe emotional than the others?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Sean and I both agree that um, the song "Souvenirs of Your Betrayal" is a heartbreaker. So it's very special. Um, it was very difficult to put all of that down on paper. I don't know that I could necessarily sing that live because it is still so raw. Like as after I write something that is kind of that um, heartbreaking for me. I can't sing it live because I'll get mixed up in the emotions and won't be able to do it. I wasn't able to sing Skin and Sorrow from our last album for the same reasons. I've never sung that live because I don't think I'd be able to get through it. Um, Now, hopefully, this was from a relationship a while ago, so it's not quite as fresh, but when you write things down and put it together like that, it seems to like, you know, like pick at the scab a little bit, you know, so it opens it up a little bit more. But I think to me that was probably the most special song.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I mean, the lyrics are just like it just hits you like right in the chest, and so um, I'm excited for people to hear that one. And from other, people that have heard the record, other people in the press that have talked to us, I mean, that they brought that song up a few times, which is always good for me. We almost have like a running competition going because she thinks the next single should be Glass Blown Heart, and I like Souvenirs. So whenever if it's someone doing an interview that's heard the record brings one of those two up, it's almost like we're keeping score on like who's winning. I think she's winning, but
What is the future for you two? Maybe some ideas for the next one?
yeah, we're already working on the next one. She was singing yesterday, and I have tons and tons of song ideas ready to go. And that's usually how we work, is like I'll do some music ideas first, and then if she likes it, she'll start singing on it. So we're already working on that because it's like fun for us and what we do, and like we don't feel, because we started not caring about what's happening musically out in the world, we don't really feel any kind of pressure to, oh, you better do another good one. We don't feel that. We're just kind of like excited to make music and do just kind of make each other excited about what the other's doing.
Okay. So I love the art cover, red like blood. uh, it's like yeah, was you know, bijou. Uh, uh, there was
What was that last thing?
it's the art cover. It's very nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's so we shoot most of the photos ourselves too. Like if it's just Gwen, I'm usually shooting that. So we actually did two or three attempts at the cover. We bought like this inflatable pool and threw Gwen in some water, and we didn't like how that turned out, and we did some other stuff. And so we shot that, in our living room. And then the drummer, John Morgan, who played on the record, his wife she edits photos for a living, and she's much better than either of us could, graphically could do. So we gave her the raw photo, and then she turned it into that red, like just beautiful
With the
image.
pops of
Yeah.
light coming off the crown.
Yes,
That,
with the phone and yeah.
that was that was Jen. Her name is Jennifer Pierce. So she did an amazing job on that. So that was a collab. And I think, you asked early on like the differences on this record versus the other ones. And I think another big difference is letting other people in. Like we worked with a producer for the first time, Aaron Shapari, and that really, like, he was better than us at mixing and bringing everything to life. And then the same thing with the covers, like we shot it, but we could have never got it there on our own. So it's like letting the right people in um, is a first for us. But now it's like it's been a great experience, and that's the same thing with the Napalm team and our management. Letting their opinions in because they have a more educated perspective on their role into what we're doing. So I think that's like a new thing for us, but it's been good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, if you look at the album covers, there is a progression and a story. So with The White Witch, you see the character on the front cover and she's muted. She has the mask on, she can't speak. 1692, she's broken free of her chains and she's created havoc, and she's looking for forgiveness. On Skin and Sorrow, some stuff's gone down and she's a little sorry, but she's also proud and she's not looking for forgiveness in that one. She's more like
Mm.
kind of, this has happened and I'm mourning, but at the same time it needed to happen. And then this album cover is more about she has ascended, and she's very much at peace and therefore singing lullabies to bring peace to others.
Okay. So thank you very much for your answer. and I hope to see you in Paris. So
Where do you live?
near Paris.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye on our socials. Like hopefully this comes together. We're a relatively small band with big agents, and so we hopefully that things will fall together. But we're always just sort of waiting to see what's going to happen. We don't have a lot of control right now, or else we'd probably be on the road right now if
Yeah,
we could.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yes, it will be a pleasure to see you.
yeah, we hope to get there soon.
My
So
favorite city, Paris. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.